Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This is my review for Just Getting Started. Morgan Freeman stars as Duke Diver, the freewheeling manager of a luxury resort, the Villa Capri. Duke may have a mysterious past, but he's a pro at making life at the resort a non-stop party. But when ex-military charmer Leo checks in, Duke and Leo compete for the top spot of alpha male, as well as for the affections of the newly arrived Susie. When Duke's past suddenly catches up with him, the rivals reluctantly team up to stop whoever is trying to kill Duke, and also save the Villa Capri. This is rated PG-13. It runs about an hour and a half, and it is a 2017 movie. The other stars in this are Tommy Lee Jones and Rene Russo, and most of the older people you'll recognize. I'll say that. I didn't really actually know who any of them are, but I did recognize most of them. So, yeah. I'll just go through the notes, and then I'll kind of summarize it up and kind of talk about my opinion a little bit more. At the very, very beginning, when the movie just gets started rolling, it shows people trying to push a car out of a snowy ditch and one guy slipping on a sidewalk or something. It was totally random. It was really weird. They had so many, probably thousands of ways of choosing how to start this movie, and they decided that. And I just thought it was weird. I was put a question mark on my notes if it was predictable. Not necessarily. It wasn't really predictable. It just, I'll talk about it later, I guess, but it wasn't predictable. The supporting cast of this is 3 women and 3 guys of the older people at this resort. And they just seem to always be around. And the scenes that have them, the only scenes that really make it useful are the men's poker night and maybe the women being out on the golf course because there's like a crowd of people. It's not just the 3 people, but the supporting cast is really weird in this movie, and it just seems like when they're around, they're kind of useless. Sorry to say. About halfway through this movie, this dog of Susie's gets snatched up by a wolf, and it's kind of funny, but Susie, this older lady, is like, "Oh, thank you for saving him. I really appreciate it." I'm like, okay, I wrote down, we're not making a big enough deal that the dog almost died. It got snatched up by a friggin' wolf. So I would have appreciated a little bit more genuine reaction to a dog almost dying and getting caught up by a wolf, and oh my gosh, you're so thankful. It could have been made a lot bigger deal of that. When we find out from the back cover that Duke is in trouble and who is coming after him, I didn't feel like that was a very big reveal. I had an idea who it might be, and it wasn't those 2 people that maybe I was thinking about, but they didn't reveal it in a big way. They just said, "Oh, yeah, I've seen him around." All the talking and, surprising manner of things is all like that. Like, they literally do it like that. It's like, "Oh, I've seen him around." And then they explain it like, "Oh, he really, probably just wanted to go in under the radar and work with the animals." It's like, you don't have to explain that. The person watching the movie can figure that out for themselves, Then later, instead of calling the cops, like, sane human beings, this is a movie and it's kind of a bad movie. They decide to go after the guy and they have a chase scene with him. And Tommy and Morgan are talking about some things, like they're releasing some big surprises, in the movie to try and make it interesting here at the end. But a chase scene is not the time to do that. You can have big surprises. You can try and keep us interested in it by saying something shocking, but a chase scene is not the right time to do that. And then it's very anticlimactic. The ending is just, oh, we're going to have the ending. Okay. They have a standoff, which is kind of cool. And I was like, again, why they decided to do that, I don't know. But then they shoot the guy and then they tie him up. It doesn't show anything other than they shoot him and then they tie him up and then end the movie. That's it. Very anticlimactic. Okay, so that's it for notes. I just want to be able to talk about this movie. Okay? These older people still feel like they want to make movies. Okay? They want to make it. They did. Okay? They're funny. They're good actors. They know what they're doing. Tommy Lee gets to play his character that he's played probably, 20 to 50 times in his career, of the very stoic, very, tough, very kind of maybe mysterious kind of old man. Really brought me back to Men in Black days, especially with him going, do you want to do this? No. And that's exactly what he did in Men in Black. He's still doing that kind of gimmick, And Morgan Freeman, he gets to play a little bit more looser version of himself, I don't think I've seen him this happy in a movie, which is good. But I don't really know what they were doing with this. It's like they thought they'd make a movie and they thought, about an hour and a half is as long as we can get this. And they thought if they throw us 10 surprises that, that it would be interesting and keep people interested. But it talks way too much about sex, which I know it's a big deal with older people. That's fine. It's natural. I knew it was going to be a part of the movie when it started talking about it every 30 seconds. But other than that, it's just not really a movie. It doesn't incorporate the people that are there helping Morgan Freeman, his kind of assistants. They kind of suggest that they like each other, but they don't explore that. At the end, Susie gets fired, and that's just all of a sudden like, oh, okay, she's acting crazy to corporate, and she's supposed to be this tough person earlier in the movie, and then now she's whining, and that's why she gets fired. It's all just very weird, and I don't know what to do with weird movies, so I just sat there, and I was kind of tortured by watching the whole thing. So I'm going to give Just Getting Started a C. I just don't really know what to tell you. If you want to watch a movie just to enjoy it, go ahead and watch it. It has all these good people in it. I just felt really sorry for it going all the way through. The other thing that I didn't mention is that this whole macho competition that Tommy and Morgan are having, you kind of get led to think that Tommy might be the killer, but obviously he ends up not being. So the whole movie is really about these two guys banging dicks. Come on. It's like, that's not what the movie's supposed to be about. The movie's supposed to be about some subject material to move it along. You could have had it more about Susie being there and them being under, investigation more of the movie. That's kind of how Dodgeball did it. At least she was around. At least she was doing her job. And then they talked her into kind of being a friend or a girlfriend or whatever, at the end of Dodgeball. But this one just took a very different route. And I just don't know how many people are going to appreciate it. So probably a lot of older people will. But I'm just kind of curious if anybody, 20 to 40, 20 to 50 of age is going to actually like this movie. So let me know what you guys think. I'm just kind of disappointed, but I did enjoy it for the most part. I just had a lot of notes because there's a lot of bad things. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other reviews, try and give them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you want to. I'm going to keep them coming if you keep watching. So thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy your movies.